different. It's the description of the Lord's pastimes in verse. The leelas are described in Bengali usually. But we're doing it a little bit differently. What we're going to do is we'll chant the Lord's holy names, and we'll also intermittently read the pastimes, and then we'll chant and read the pastimes. So one of the wonderful things about this is when we magically turn off the lights. Let's see if I can do it. It never works for me. Maybe we could use the switches. I'm having one of those days. So it does work. So the wonderful thing about this, or a wonderful thing about hearing the Lord's pastimes and chanting Krishna's holy names, is that naturally, very naturally, the pastimes of the Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this case, they become embedded or placed within the kirtan of the holy names. And we naturally think about the Lord, and naturally prayers and the pastimes of the Lord, and the form of the Lord naturally appear in our consciousness as we chant. So naturally, the chanting is full of the mood that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is impressing upon us as he relishes ecstasy. As he relishes his ecstasy, because in the 3rd chapter of Adi-lila, that chapter describes how Mahaprabhu was relishing so deeply the mood of Srimati Radharani. But also, that's in the 4th chapter, excuse me, in the 3rd chapter, that's so nice, I'll take 2 more, please. See if that works. Make it 3. And Mahaprabhu is not only relishing himself, his own chanting and experience of eternal ecstasy, but his very actions, he's teaching how to do the same. And this is true throughout all of Mahaprabhu's pastimes, from preaching to his deepest of internal bhajans. He's relishing, as is described directly in Adi-lila, in 5 chapters of Adi-lila. He's directly teaching the method of experiencing love and separation. What we're going to read is the exact correlation between what we've been hearing about in the talks that I've been giving about the Brother Gopikas, Radharani, and the other Brother Gopikas meeting Krishna, who they've been desiring to meet. Desiring is not exactly the right word, but they've been longing to meet him. But longing isn't the right word either. They've been in the ecstasy of not being able to live a moment without his presence. But yet, he wasn't present. And if they left this world, if they died, that would cause pain to their beloved Sri Krishna. And yesterday, in an amazing, most amazing, in my opinion, reading about from the Vrindavana Institute, the ecstasy of Krishna in the deepest separation from the Brother Gopikas, the residents of Vrindavana, was manifested in such a way that was shocking for me. And I couldn't even go weekly. I couldn't even do that at the end. So, those pastimes of Krishna meeting the gopis in Kurukshetra, it's Sanihit Sarovar where they met. And And they had been longing to meet them. And Krishna had sent a message to the gopis saying, now we finally have the opportunity of that nature or chance or fortune has arranged the opportunity for us to meet at Kurukshetra, and there we will have our pastimes. We will continue. So in great exuberance and great excitement, the Braja Gopikas went feeling deep separation from Krishna and knowing very soon that separation would be ended. But then when they got there and met Krishna, he wasn't wearing a peacock feather. He had shoes on. He never wore shoes in Braj. And not only that, there was no peacock feather, there was no flute. And he was dressed in his warrior garb, his clothes of a warrior. And he was surrounded by other warriors. So although they were with Krishna, it wasn't the Krishna that they knew and loved exactly. It was the same person, but the surroundings were completely different. It wasn't the fulfillment of what they actually desired. So the unfolding of that very short 10, 11 verses was Krishna was very embarrassed. He was shy that he had left them who had given everything to him. He had given their whole lives to them. And he explained why, and they became angry. And he explained why again, that he was the Supreme Lord, but he also explained one verse, Mai Bhakti Bhutanam, which explained that Mat Sneha, because you have developed Sneha for me, which meant the kind of bhakti that was so deep, the kind of prema that was so deep, that a moment, even a moment's separation was intolerable. And because of that love, Krishna said, because of that love, we will always be together. I cannot avoid it. I cannot resist that love. And then they replied in a sarcastic way with a verse beginning, Ahus Dham, O Lord, whose navel is like a lotus. Great yogis can meditate upon your feet, because Krishna had just taught them Gyan about how he was everywhere and everything because he's the Supreme Lord, and that everything in the world is within him, and within that there are all the spirit souls, and everything is resting in him, the Paramatma. And the gopis replied that we are not jnanis, we are not yogis, we are just materialists, very sarcastic. We are just materialists who are attached to our homes, and we cannot place your lotus feet in our hearts like the yogis and the jnanis. And therefore, we request you to again come to Braja, bring those lotus feet into Braja, and that will be the way that we can place your lotus feet in our hearts, and no other way. Please come to Braja again. And so Mahaprabhu, using those exact verses, especially that Mai Bhakti Vibhutanam and that Ahus Dham, and we'll hear them in a moment coming from Mahaprabhu himself, that mood, that very sequence or very pastime of Srimati Radharani and the other gopis being at Sannihit Sarova with Krishna, and everything was perfect except nothing was complete because it wasn't in Sri Vrindavan Dham. And Mahaprabhu and Rath Yatra, as Lord Jagannath, moving Jagannath, was being led in the cart by the dancing of Mahaprabhu, who was in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So the Rath Yatra began. The Rath Yatra began. It's such an interesting, of course, the Rath Yatra pastime is not of this world, where Mahaprabhu, being unable to tolerate being in Jagannath Puri, after Snanayatra, where the Lord becomes ill after he's bathed, and then goes, he's not seen by the devotees, and Mahaprabhu couldn't tolerate being in Jagannath Puri, that very same place, without seeing Lord Jagannath. So he went to Alalanath, and he came back when he heard that the Bengali devotees, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, had arrived, and Nityananda and Sarvabhauma couldn't live without Mahaprabhu. So when he heard that they had arrived, he brought Mahaprabhu back. They brought Mahaprabhu back. And then what did they do in separation? In the 2 weeks after Snanayatra, Mahaprabhu had come back, and yet he couldn't live without Jagannath. And the Bengali devotees were so eager to see Lord Jagannath. They were so eager to see the Rath Yatra, but they couldn't see Lord Jagannath. He was being redecorated, and he was ill. What did the devotees do? They had kirtan. But not only ordinary, you shouldn't say ordinary kirtan, but kirtan that was filled with prem, Sri Premanam. And they would go all around the Jagannath temple, but they couldn't see Lord Jagannath. And Mahaprabhu would dance in each of the kirtan parties at the same time. So when Rath Yatra and then finally, in the end of the 12th chapter, the chapter before the 13th chapter, where the Rath Yatra is described, there's what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives this incredible description, where the night before Rath Yatra, after Lord Jagannath and Subhadra Devi and Lord Baladev have been repainted, redecorated, and then they're brought to the temple. And the ceremony of netra, the opening of the eyes, again, is held. And then everyone could finally see Lord Jagannath. And the devotees, the description of the Sankirtan, the chanting, when the devotees finally got to see Lord Jagannath, and they were standing outside where they usually stood, and like water, like a huge, huge wave, the description is, the devotees led by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were all following him. They madly rushed to see Lord Jagannath. Madly, like a tsunami wave, all the devotees went in front of Lord Jagannath. And there's a description given by Kaviraj Goswami. Mahaprabhu's looking at Jagannath, his beauty, his eyes. And kirtan, kirtan, kirtan. And the next day began the Rath Yatra ceremony, where, how many of you have actually visited Puri during the Rath Yatra? So, some. I have not. But the next day, after Balaram comes to his cart with the waves of his crown moving, and the different devotees who have designated that service, who are very strong, they carry him to the cart. Then Subhadra Devi goes onto her cart, and then Lord Jagannath finally goes on his cart, and then the carts begin to move. And Mahaprabhu divides his devotees into 7 groups, and they chant and chant in front of Lord Jagannath and Baladev and Subhadra in great ecstasy. And he designates certain devotees as dancers, certain devotees as chanters, certain devotees this, and certain devotees that. And he dances in each group again at the same time. And only pure devotees are able to see this. Others just saw something different. The curtain of Yogamaya had not descended in over their consciousness that would allow them to see this. So what we're going to do is read from text 70 onward. And in this chapter, the very heart of Mahaprabhu which is the heart of Srimati Radharani, is going to be revealed ultimately by Mahaprabhu, Srup Damodar, and then Rupa Goswami, and Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami will now reveal it to the world, and therefore we say, Si Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Jaina Bhutale Sayam Rupa. Rupa Goswami has revealed the most secret, the innermost part of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart, and his mood at Rath Yatra, and his moods in ecstasy. He's revealed this in the Rath Yatra. So first, let us chant a little bit, and chant in the mood of, well, you decide how would you like to chant. Please begin.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare
Shivaraman.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everyone.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everyone. Now, please hear about Lord Jagannath's going to the Gundicha temple while Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced before the Rath cart. The Lord performed kirtan for some time. Through his own endeavor, he inspired all the devotees to dance. When the Lord himself wanted to dance, all the 7 groups of devotees, they all combined together. The Lord's devotees, including Srivas, Ramai, Raghu, Govinda, Mukunda, Haridas, Govindanandana, Madhava, and Govinda, they all combined together. And when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired to jump high while dancing, he placed these 9 people in the charge of Srup Damodar. These devotees, Srup Damodar and the devotees in his charge, they sang along with the Lord. And they also ran beside him. And all the other groups of men also sang, offering obeisances to the Lord Jagannath with folded hands. Offering obeisances to Lord Jagannath with folded hands, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu raised his face and his hands towards Lord Jagannath, and he began to pray in the following verses. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagadidhaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namah. Looking at Lord Jagannath with his lotus eyes, Mahaprabhu cried out, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Krishna, who is the worshipful deity for all Brahminical men, who is the well-wisher of the cows and the brahmanas, and who is always benefiting the entire world. I offer my repeated obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Krishna and Govinda. He also chanted another prayer. Jayati, Jayati, Devo Devaki Nandana So. Jayati, Jayati, Krishna Vishnivansa Pradibha. Jayati, Jayati, Megashamala Kamalango. Jayati, Jayati, Prithivibara Naso Makunda. In one Rath-yatra ceremony, I think it was in 1968, 69 perhaps, or perhaps 1970, Srila Prabhupada raised his hands in front of the deities in San Francisco, and he chanted this verse, and everyone's doubts all went away when they heard this vibration coming from Prabhupada's mouth. Here's the meaning. All glories unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as the son of Devaki. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as the light of the dynasty of Vishnu. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose bodily luster is like that of a new cloud, and whose body is as soft as a lotus flower. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appeared in this planet, in this world, to deliver the world from the burden of demons, and who can offer liberation, freedom from all suffering to everyone. He also sang, Lord Sri Krishna is he who is known as Jananivas, the ultimate resort, the ultimate resting place of all living entities, and who is also known as Devaki Nandan or Yashoda Nandana, the son of Devaki and Yashoda. He is the guide of the Yadu dynasty, Mahaprabhu was chanting like this, standing in front of Lord Jagannath. He's the guide of the Yadu dynasty, and with his mighty arms, he kills everything inauspicious, as well as every man who is impious. And by his presence, he destroys all things inauspicious for all living entities, moving and inert, non-moving. His blissful, smiling face always increases the desires of the gopis of Vrindavan. May he be glorious. May he be happy. And then, Naham vipro nacha narapatir napi vaisho na sudro naham vani nacha grihapatir no vanisto yativa kintu prodyan nikla paramananda ponam ritabder gopi bharta parakamalayor das das anodas. O Lord Jagannath, I am not a Brahmin. I'm not a Kshatriya. I'm not a Vaishya or a Sudra. Nor am I a brahmachari, nor a householder, a vanaprastha, not even a sannyasi. I identify myself only as the servant of the servant of the servants of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, who is the maintainer of the gopis. He is like an ocean of nectar, and he is the cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with great brilliance. Having recited all these verses, which are all from Shastra, the Lord again offered his obeisances. And all the devotees with folded hands, they also offered prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced, he jumped high. He was roaring like thunder and moving in a circle as fast as a wheel. He appeared like a circling firebrand to be in all places at the same time. And whenever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stepped while dancing, the whole earth with its hills and seas appeared to tilt. Is that being amplified? Maybe you can put up a little bit, sir. When Mahaprabhu danced, he displayed various blissful, transcendental changes in his own body. Sometimes he appeared stunned. Sometimes the hairs of his body stood on end. And sometimes he perspired. Sometimes he cried. Sometimes he trembled and changed color. And sometimes he exhibited helplessness. But other times pride, enthusiasm, and at other times complete humility. And when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell down to the earth with a crash while dancing, he would roll on the ground. At such times it appeared that a golden mountain was rolling on the ground. Nityananda Prabhu would stretch out his two hands and tried to catch the Lord while he was running here and there. And Sri Advaita-acharya would walk behind the Lord and loudly chant, Hari Bol, again and again. And just to check the crowds from coming too near the Lord, the devotees surrounded him and formed three circles. The first circle was guided by Nityananda Prabhu, who is Balaram himself, who possesses great strength. And all the devotees, headed by Kashishwar and Govinda, linked hands and formed the second circle around the Lord. Maharaj Bhattabharudra and his personal assistants formed the third circle around the two inner circles just to check the crowds from coming too near. And with his hands on the shoulder of Harichandrana, King Prataparudra could see Lord Chaitanya dancing in great ecstasy, and he too felt great ecstasy. Well, the king beheld the dancing. Srivas Thakur was standing in front of him, and he too became ecstatic as he saw the dancing of Mahaprabhu. And seeing Srivas Thakur standing right in front of the king, Hari Chandana, who was serving the king, he touched Srivas with his hand and requested him to step aside. Absorbed in watching Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dance, Srivas Thakur could not understand why he was being touched and pushed. And after he was pushed again and again and again, he became angry. And Srivas Thakur slapped Hari Chandana to stop him from pushing him. And this made Hari Chandana very angry. As the angered Hari Chandana was about to speak strongly to Srivas Thakur, Prataparudra Maharaj personally stopped him. He said, "You are very fortunate, for you have been graced by the touch of Srivas Thakur. I am not so fortunate. You should feel obliged to him." Everyone was astonished by the dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And even Lord Jagannath became extremely happy to see him. Jagannath's cart came to a complete standstill, and it remained not moving, immobile, while Lord Jagannath, with unblinking big eyes, watched the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Subhadra Devi, the goddess of fortune, and Lord Balaram both felt great happiness and ecstasy within their hearts. Indeed, they watched the dancing, and they too smiled. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced, he jumped high. 8 wonderful transformations indicative his divine ecstasy were seen in his body. All these symptoms were visible simultaneously, all at the same time. That is called Mahabhava. His skin erupted in goose pimples, and the hairs of his body all stood on end. His body resembled the simila tree, all covered with thorns. Indeed, the people who were watching him became afraid as they saw his teeth chattering, and they thought his teeth would fall out. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's whole body flowed with perspiration. And at the same time, it oozed blood. He made the sounds, ja-ja gaga, ja-ja gaga, in a voice choked with ecstasy. And tears shot from his eyes like streams of water from a syringe. And that wetted the ground and wetted all who surrounded him. Mahaprabhu's complexion shifted from white to pink until his luster resembled the malika flower. At times, he appeared stunned, or he rolled on the ground. Sometimes his arms and legs became rigid like dry wood, and he did not move. And when he fell to the ground, his breathing at times nearly stopped. And the devotees seeing this, they weren't thinking, "Oh, Mahaprabhu is feeling such ecstasy." No, their love for him wouldn't allow that. When they saw Mahaprabhu in this condition, the devotees felt their own lives growing weak. They could not tolerate it. Water flowed from his eyes, even from his nostrils. Foam fell from his mouth like nectarine torrents descending from the moon. Shubhananda, being most fortunate, an expert in relishing ecstatic love of Krishna, took and drank that foam. And after he had performed his devastating dance for some time, then the Lord entered a deep mood of ecstatic love. abandoning the dance, he ordered Srila Damodar to sing. And understanding the Lord's heart, Srila began with the proper refrain. Now, Srila said, I have gained the Lord of my life. He was entering into the mood of Srimati Radharani still more deeply. Srimati Radharani in the presence of Krishna, Jagannath, but without Vrindavan. Now I have gained the Lord of my life, in whose absence Cupid burned me, and I wither away. As this refrain, as these words resounded, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again danced rhythmically in transcendental bliss, and Lord Jagannath's cart began to move slowly while the son of Sakshi danced ahead. The devotees, dancing and singing before the Lord of Nilachala, had their eyes fixed on him. They advanced as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then moved to the rear of the Sankirtan party, absorbing his eyes and his mind fully in Lord Jagannath. He began to enact the drama of the song with his two arms. While he dramatized the song, he would sometimes lag behind. And at those moments, the car of Lord Jagannath stopped. And when he went forward again, the car moved slowly once more. Thus a gentle contest, a competition arose between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath as to who would lead. Mahaprabhu would stop, Jagannath would stop. He would move forward, Jagannath would move forward. Yet Mahaprabhu's spiritual strength, his love, his ecstatic love in the mood of Srimati Radharani made Jagannath wait in his cart, and the cart could not move. In the midst of his dancing, the Lord's ecstasy suddenly shifted, and he raised his arms and he recited another verse. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of Chaitra, the same fragrance of Malati, the same sweet breezes from the Kadamba forest, and I am the same lover. And yet, my mind is not happy here. I long to return to the bank of the Reva River, beneath the Vatasi tree. There lies my desire. He repeated this verse again and again, but no one but Srila Damodar understood its meaning. But here it is. Formerly, the gopis of Vrindavan were pleased when they met Krishna at Kurukshetra. Likewise, after beholding Lord Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awoke the gopis' ecstasy and asked Swarup to sing the refrain. He spoke to Lord Jagannath and said, "You are the same Krishna, and I am the same Radharani. We meet again as in the beginning of our lives. Yet, though we are the same, my mind remains attracted to Vrindavan Dham. Please again, please, please, please again, reveal your lotus feet there." Here in Kurukshetra, there are crowds, there are elephants, there are horses, there's the rattling of the chariots, where as Vrindavan offers flower gardens, it has the humming of the bees and the birds swing songs sweetly. And here, You are dressed like a royal prince amongst warriors. But in Vrindavan, you're a simple cowherd boy with only your beautiful flute. Not even a drop of the ocean of transcendental happiness found in Vrindavan appears here. Come, therefore, to Vrindavan and enjoy pastimes with me. Then my ambition will be fulfilled. The essence of Srimati Radharani's statement from Srimad Bhagavatam has already been briefly described earlier. In that same ecstatic mood, the Lord recited many other verses whose meanings the general people could not understand. Swarup Damodar knew them, but did not reveal them. Whereas Srila Rupa Goswami, he later broadcast their meaning. And while dancing, the Lord then relished another verse in Swarup Damodar's association.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Dham, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
while dancing. The Lord then relished another verse in Sri Damodar's association. The gopis prayed, whose tongue, O Lord with the lotus navel, your lotus feet alone are the shelter for those fallen into the deep well of material existence. They are worshipped and meditated upon by great yogis and learned philosophers. May those lotus feet awaken within our hearts as well, although we are ordinary householders. Speaking in Srimati Radharani's mood, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, for most people, the mind and the heart are one. Yet my mind never leaves Vrindavana. Thus, I consider my mind and Vrindavana one. And since you love Vrindavana, please place your lotus feet in my mind. Then I shall know your full mercy. Hear my submission. My home is Vrindavana, and there I desire your association. And without it, my life will not be able to continue. Formerly, when you stayed in Mathura, you sent Uddhav to teach me Jnana and mystic yoga. Now you yourself speak the same. But my mind has no room for Jnana yoga, no room for Dhyana yoga. And although you know me well, you still instruct me thus. This is not right. I would withdraw my consciousness from you to engage in material affairs, but I cannot. I am naturally drawn only to you. And your order that I meditate on you is therefore laughable. Thus you slay me with such counsel. Do not think me a candidate for those instructions. The gopis are not yogis. They will never be satisfied by meditating on your lotus feet and imitating so-called yogis, teaching them meditation. There's another trick of yours. It is duplicity alone. It makes them only more angry with you. They have fallen into the vast ocean of separation and are being swallowed by the Timangila fish of their deep desire to serve you. Being pure devotees without material conception, why should they desire liberation? They reject the liberation sought by yogis and jnanis, for they are already liberated from material existence. But I am still more astonished because you seem to have forgotten Vrindavana and your father, your mother, and your friends there. You have forgotten Govardhana Hill, the bank of the Jamuna, and the forest where you danced the Rasa-līlā. But you are a refined gentleman. You are virtuous, you are soft-hearted, you are merciful, and I know there is not a tinge of fault in you. And your mind still seems not to remember Vrindavana's residence. Surely, this must be my misfortune. I do not care for my own unhappiness, but seeing Mother Yashoda distressed, seeing her distressed face and all of Vrindavan's hearts breaking because of you, I wonder whether you intend to kill them, or will you enliven them? Will you bring them back to life by coming there? Why keep them alive but suffering? They do not want you dressed as a prince, nor associating with warriors in a distant land. They cannot leave Vrindavan, but without you. dying, what will become of them? O Krishna, O life and soul of Vrindavan, especially the life of Nanda Maharaj, O soul wealth of the land of Braja, O supremely merciful one, please come and let all of Vrindavan live again. Place again your lotus feet there. Hearing Srimati Radharani's words, Krishna's love for Vrindavan's residents, it surged, and his body and mind were greatly disturbed, for he was acknowledging their love. He felt perpetually, continually indebted to them, and he began to speak words to pacify Srimati Radharani. My dearest Srimati Radharani, he said, I speak the truth. Day and night I weep, remembering all of you inhabitants of Vrindavan. No one can understand how unhappy I am. All of Vrindavan, my mother, my father, the cowherd friends, and all else are my very life, my very soul. And amongst them, the gopis are my very life. And amongst the gopis, you, O Shri Radha, are the chief. Thus you are the life of my life. I am always subservient to your loving affairs, and I'm always under your control. Our separation and my distant residence far from Vrindavan, these come only from my great misfortune. But when a woman is separated from her beloved or a man from his, neither can live. Each lives only for the other. And hearing of the other's death, he will die as well. Such a loving, chaste pair, desiring each other's welfare alone, in separation and ignoring all personal happiness. Those people, those loving couples, will certainly meet again without delay. You are my dearest, and I know you cannot live a moment without me. And just to keep you living, I worship Lord Narayana, by whose mercy I come daily to Vrindavan to sport with you, and then I return to Dwarka. Thus, you may always feel my presence there. By Narayana's grace, our love is strengthened, and I come unseen by others. And very soon, I hope to become visible to all in Vrindavan. I've slain the mischievous enemies of the Yadus. I've slain Kamsa and his allies. Yet 2 or 4 demons remain, and when I have killed them, I shall quickly return to Vrindavan. Be certain of this. I remain in my kingdom to protect Vrindavan's residents from my foes. Otherwise, I am indifferent to my royalty. And whatever wives, sons, and wealth I maintain are solely for the Yadu's satisfaction. Your loving qualities irresistibly draw me to Vrindavan. Indeed, your loving qualities will force me back within 10 or 20 days. And when I return, I shall enjoy with you and all the damsels of Braj, day and night. Speaking thus, Krishna became intensely eager to return to Vrindavan, and he recited a verse to banish all the difficulties of Srimati Radharani, a verse that would assure her that she would again soon attain him. Mai bhakti bhutanam amritat vaya kalpate dishya dasanmat sneho bhavatinam marapinam. Devotional service to me is the only way to attain me. O gopis, the love and affection you have received from me by good fortune is the sole cause, and it will be the sole cause of my return to you. The Rath Yatra ceremony festival ended soon after this. I would like to read some prayers by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur glorifying the son of Sachi. One day, Gadadhar Pandit heard the following words. O Gadadhar, I saw the most extraordinary person on the road to Gaya. His form was very handsome, and he roared just like a thundercloud. His eyes rained tears as if they had become rain clouds, and he rolled about on the ground. His voice choked up an ecstasy of love of God. All glories to that Lord, the son of Sachi Devi. Oh, what kind of extraordinary state has he attained? Although he is the leader of the scholars, he no longer delights in study. When he holds class surrounded by his pupils, if he hears the sound Hari, he begins to tremble. All glories to that Lord, the son of Sachi Devi. Once during class, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu interrupted a pupil and asked, "What are you saying? Instead of these verbs, you should constantly repeat the name of Krishna, the most famous of all words, according to the Vedas. O students, without Krishna, what benefit can verbs give?" All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Sachi Devi, who chants his own holy name in that way. No matter what the particular type of study was, he would smile and instruct his astonished grammar students in this way. "Oh, students, please place the two large eyes of Sri Krishna, which are as beautiful as two lotus petals, within your hearts, and please place his lotus feet within your hearts in the same way." All glories to that Lord, the son of Sachi Devi. At other times, the Lord would say, "O friend, where shall I go? And what shall I do to attain Lord Hari? Who will show him to me? Please tell me who will help me in this way." Speaking thus, the Lord ran here and ran there and rolled about on the ground. Their throats filled with grief, the stricken devotees called out to him. In this way, the Lord caused his mother Sachi Devi to faint. All glories to that Lord, the son of Sachi Devi. The reflection of the splendid beauty of the Lord is not attainable even by millions of cupids. And with that splendor, with his splendor, the Lord uproots the darkness of the ignorance of the age of Kali. Descending with the principal demigods, the Lord delighted the eyes of the residents of this earth planet. All glories to that effulgent Lord, the son of Sachi. He is like a golden mountain that scatters jewels of pure love of God. And because of his great mercy, he wandered on this earth planet. That Lord, known as Vishwambara, the maintainer of the universe, drowned his own universe with the currents of the Ganga river of tears of love of Godhead flowing from his eyes. All glories to that Lord, the son of Sachi Devi. Lord Krishna said to Uddhav, what is the condition of Srimati Radharani now that I have come to Mathura? Please tell me so that I may understand. In order to fulfill his own desire, Lord Krishna, the son of the king of Braja, has descended as Lord Chaitanya to taste the mellows of his own devotional service. O Lord, O son of Sachi Devi, O ocean of transcendental qualities, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, please place in your abode all who read these 8 verses and are full of faith in your lotus feet. Please accept those readers whose intelligence is pure and who follow in the footsteps of the great devotees headed by Srila Rupa Goswami. Please accept those readers who are full of great love for you. That is why we have placed them there for you to read. Another poem by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Srimati Radharani said, O beloved, in a dream I saw a river whose shore was like the Yamuna. There were many expert dancers as in Vrindavan. There were mridangas and other instruments. There was a Brahmana jewel as splendid as lightning who was tossing the universe into an ocean of pure love. Sometimes he calls out, "Oh Krishna," and sometimes he sighs, "Oh Radha, where are you?" Sometimes he falls to the ground. Sometimes he acts wildly, losing all composure. And sometimes he dances ecstatically with his loving associates. He has made all the residents of this world, from the blades of grass up to Brahma, loudly call out the name of Krishna. Sri Radha said, as I gazed at him, my intelligence became bewildered. If he is my lover, where am I? And if he is I, where is my lover? If he is my lover, where am I? As I slept, I became more and more bewildered. Sri Krishna said, O inquisitive girl, when I showed you Narayan and my other forms, you were not surprised. Why does this Brahmana surprise you? Why does he bewilder you? So that you say, who is he? After speaking these words to his beloved, the smiling lover, Krishna, he touched his Kaustubha jewel. The jewel, understanding the Lord's intent, glowed and then showed all the same pastimes and all the moving and non-moving entities that Sri Radha saw in her dream. Srimati Radharani reflected for a moment and said, Beloved, I know what is in your heart now that makes you smile. You are he. What you have said and thought is now clear to me, and therefore I think I am also he. Making this Kaustubha jewel, which is so delightful to us, making it shine in this way, you have revealed yourself to all living entities. by your own transcendental potency, you will appear. You will display your pastimes. You will teach everyone, and you will again plunge the world into the ocean of pure love. In the King of Braja's presence, the learned Vedic scholar Gaura-līlā-kathā said that you will appear with a yellow complexion. He did not lie. This dream of mine is true. It is not an illusion. In this dream, I have directly seen you. If the bumblebee of the reader's mind drinks the nectar of this swapna vilasim amrita, then that intelligent reader will quickly awaken from the dream of materialistic doubt. Such a reader will attain Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He will sport in the ocean of pure love. He will attain the peerless, unequaled mercy of the King of Vrindavana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
You want to sing? No, you want to.
Eventually, yes. Very nice, Bhūrijana.
Hare Krishna.
How you laid it all out, made very presented all the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the beginning and in the closure.
We try our best.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Gaura-līlā-kathā, 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 Gaura-līlā-kathā. Jaya Gaura-līlā-kathā, 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 Gaura-līlā-kathā. Nitya Gaura Hareva, 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 Gaura Hareva. Nitya Gaura Hareva, 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 Gaura Hareva. Nishai Gaura Hare Ga Hare Ga Hare Ga Gaura Hare Ga Nishai Gaura Hare Ga Hare Ga Hare Ga Gaura Hare Ga Jai Jai Prabhupada,